Guys, it's 2025. It's a new year, and with a new year comes some new content. And by new content, I'm talking about some other things outside of breaking. Something that I've been wanting to do for a long time now. Never really went full force into any other direction with it. But I think it's time for a change. Now, it doesn't mean that breaking content is going fully away, but I do want to dab into a little bit of other different categories as well, especially gaming. Gaming has been very huge for me growing up as a kid. And it's just something that me and all of my friends like to talk about all the time. What would be the best way to bring both of these worlds together? Breaking and gaming. Well, technically, gaming music from the PlayStation 1 era got me very inspired to start breaking. That sounds cliche, but I was dancing on a little cardboard out front of my house, to dancing in one of the biggest competitions in the world, flying around the world, teaching, judging, the influences I had growing up as a kid. I think a lot of people don't know about, because this is around the PlayStation 1 era, and I think a lot of the newer people getting into breaking right now are a little bit younger. Maybe they missed out on some of the best rhythm-based video games that have come out for the PS1, or even the Xbox, just around that era in general.
Wow, what a start! This is just what I wanted to see!
The first game I just want to talk about is a game called Buster Groove. The reason why I want to do this one first is because I think this was the game that when I started breaking, I used for a lot of source material of mimicking or trying to learn moves in general. I think this game just has a big variety of moves from, we're talking about all aspects of dance, including b-boying in it, they had housing in it, they had people locking in it, they had just somebody just doing disco the entire time. I mean, we had two aliens that were doing capoeira. I don't know of any other dancing game out at this time that was better. I did get into other rhythm games, which I'll get into later down the list. I think something that all these games are going to have in common is the rhythm of things. And I know people are going to say, hey, these games don't teach you how to dance, which is true. Some of these games don't teach you how to dance, but they're definitely going to teach you how to get rhythm. And I think rhythm is probably the biggest part of dancing. As long as you have rhythm, I think you're completely fine to be a dancer. And I think these games do teach that aspect.
Some high-scoring moves there!
So along with Buster Groove, I'm sure you guys already know this one too. I'm not even saying that this game took a big hit on me, as in like it made me start breaking better, but I will say this one, everybody knows it, and if you don't know it, then you're sleeping under a rock. I don't know where you've been, but by the way, I haven't played this game in a long time. Dance Dance Revolution. Now, I'm not saying Dance Dance Revolution played a big part into me becoming who I am today, but I will say I sank a lot of time into this game. I was not the best on the pads, or like, you know, when you go to the arcade to actually go to the machine.
Dance!
But I was a monster on the controller. And there's something addicting about, you know, I mean, we know it's addicting because they have the PC version of this where people play on a keyboard. It's something very addicting about just in rhythm, hitting directional buttons and reading them off the screen. It's almost the same as, you know, people playing Guitar Hero or DJ Hero, right? And I can get more into them. The reason why I'm not going to really be talking about DJ Hero or Guitar Hero is because I'm trying to stay more focused on music that I didn't know about, that made me dive deeper into listening to music on the outside of, besides stuff from the radio, right? I think games like this really opened up my mind to go explore different genres of music, or to go look for different artists. And I know it was really hard around this time because we didn't have things like YouTube or like Apple Music to go look all these artists up. I think the first thing that we got was Napster, basically, right? And that wasn't for years and years of me into breaking. I think Soul Seek was out when I was first getting into that. So getting back into Dance Dance Revolution, this is another game that a lot of people I heard say, oh, well, this game doesn't teach you how to dance. True, it's not going to teach you how to dance, but it will teach you rhythm. And I think a lot of people, I didn't really know it existed, but there was a lot of people that just do not have rhythm, you know, especially white people, right? Just being honest. Again, like I said earlier, as long as you have a rhythm, to me, you are dancing, right? You can do whatever you want to do, but if you're in rhythm of it and you're feeling the music, I'm fine with it. So games like this, you know, rhythm games do teach you how to keep rhythm, and in a way, sort of, will teach you how to dance. So Dance Dance Revolution, there are so many different versions of Dance Dance Revolution. I'm pretty sure the Kona Mix was also another one for the PS1 era, and then they started going into like PS2. But I know PS1, like Dance Dance Revolution, was definitely like one of those first games that really opened up my mind to like go and venture and check out some more different music.
You're the best.
I know you guys are thinking, I'm leaving some games out, right? And I know I'm not going to hit every single game. I'm just talking about a couple games, about ones that really played a big part into me really getting more into dancing, more into music. I know another one of these games that really had me dive a little bit deeper, especially in the hip-hop genre, was a game called Parappa the Rapper. And I know they just remixed this game up a little bit for people that didn't really hear about it from back in the day. And I know like there's probably like a lot newer kids that don't really know about this game, but this is one of the illest games that you are probably ever gonna play. And I mean, it is aged well, where I just replayed it the other day and it is still one of the sickest games.
Kick, punch, it's all in the mind. If you wanna test me, I'm sure you'll find the things I'll teach ya. Be sure to beat ya. Nevertheless, you'll get a lesson from teacher. Now kick, punch.
Lyrics wise, rhythm wise, animation style wise, it was just very original all around, very to itself, right? Like, you know, that type of game or that creator from the game just from looking at a visual of it, right? They also came out with another game called Jamalama, which is technically the same exact game, except you were somebody in a rock band versus hip-hop dog rapping, right? This is another game that I think is one of the best, and if you guys have not checked this game out, then make sure you check it out. When I was growing up, especially getting into breaking, and breaking being, you know, a part of hip-hop, this game just was really, really super dope to play, and I think it's one of the games that aged the best. That you can still go back today and even play and just enjoy it. It is very short, so don't expect to be sitting there for hundreds of hours into. I mean, you can spend hundreds of hours in it if you want to replay the levels, but the game itself is very short, so I wouldn't really, you know, be worried about spending too much time in it. So if you guys haven't played Parappa the Rapper, I highly suggest you guys pick it up.
The key is love. Save everybody from way up above. I can sell a bottle cap like this.
I will try to sell a cat like this.
Right, so the next game I want to talk about, okay, this isn't a rhythm game. Let's get this out of the way first. Not everything on this list is going to be a rhythm game, but I think this game is worth mentioning because of the music, the style. It was a big influence of me as a kid, and I kind of viewed hip-hop from this viewpoint, right? And I'm not saying, you know, this is exactly what hip-hop is, but I got a lot of like design, artistic, character feeling from this game, which you know, I applied a lot into my breaking, where like, you know, I saw something the character was wearing, I'm like, yo, this is dope, maybe I should try to wear something like this too. But either way, this game that I'm talking about is Jet Grind Radio.
Let's look at the funk.
Could you stop playing with that radio of yours? I'm trying to get to sleep. Could you stop playing with that radio of yours? I'm trying to get to sleep.
Now, we can talk about Jet Grind Radio, Jet Set Future, Bomb Rush, Cyberfunk that just came out. It's kind of like a successor to to these games. But if you have never played Jet Grind Radio, I highly suggest you guys jump on this. The music choice in it alone was something that just made me go into different genres of music. The flow of grinding on something, collecting spray cans, doing a backflip onto another rail 20 feet above you just to tag something, and everything done so swiftly and smoothly. I just think it was done so well and was so addicting. I put hundreds of hours into this game. The fluidity of gameplay was amazing, but on top of it, the music choice on was just so next level. These are songs that I would dig for. If I heard it, I'm like, oh my god, what is the song? I don't know the name of it. Or I would spend hours just trying to figure out what these song titles were just so I can download it and listen to it on the side, right? I think that really tells me, you know, that a game has a great soundtrack, is if I'm able to go in there and be like, listen, I know I'm playing the game right now, I know this track is in here, but I need this track on the outside as well, not just while I'm playing this game. This soundtrack was amazing. And I'm not even just talking about Jet Grind Radio, I'm just mainly talking about Jet Grind Radio because it was around that era. Again, Jet Set Future, Bomb Rush, same thing. The music choice for these games are fantastic. If you guys have not checked any of these out, please make sure to check them out. It is a must for like anybody into music, anybody into style, fashion, especially with the hip hop community. Bomb Rush right now is a straight up b-boy game. You know, with like the OGs and everything in it. But if you guys haven't played, you know, the original Jet Grind, I would suggest to go and do that. There was a game, came out in the late 90s, called Beatmania. It came with this little controller. There was like a little record on it with a bunch of buttons, right? And I think this was the first rhythm game that was out. I did have it. I bought it because, you know, I was huge into rhythm games at that time, and I figured I gotta buy it, right? I think I paid a little extra for it too, because I just couldn't find it anywhere over here. From what I remember, I did not sink that much time into it. I remember it being extremely hard as a kid. But it makes me want to pick it back up, right? And I've been watching some videos of it recently. Maybe I should pick this back up just to check it out. And I'm thinking maybe I will one day pick it up and just to try it out. But this is another game that around that time I remember seeing it, and it was something that was just something completely new, and you know, it made me buy it, and it made me get really into the rhythm-based genre more, you know. And I think this was before controllers were out. That was, you know, the Guitar Hero controllers, or the DJ Hero controller, or Rock Band, you know, like all the instruments. I think Beatmania was like one of the first games that actually was out there doing stuff with it. But if you guys haven't checked anything out of Beatmania, check it out. There are some pretty dope tracks on there from what I remember. I don't think I've spent enough time in that game to really talk about it too much, but it is something that I would want to recommend because I know it's something that not a lot of people talk about anymore, but I do remember it being something and people talking highly of it. So just to end this off, let me first say, all these games just played the biggest impact, I think, on me growing up, getting more into music, getting more into dancing. I'm not saying these are the only games. There is a abundance amount of video games out there with amazing soundtracks. I'm just bringing up the few that really stuck in my head growing up, where the music was different, the art style was different, and it really made me think of going outside that box and go digging for music, or go digging more into hip hop. Outside of that, you know, we could talk about Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, but again, Soundtrack amazing, but a lot of them songs, I knew most of them songs already. There were a couple songs in there where I was like, all right, this is pretty sick. But most of the songs, I already had an idea who the bands were or what the songs were. So again, this list is mainly, you know, things that kind of got my mind outside of just the norm, the radio. And with that, just about wraps it up. I can go on days and days and days talking about music and gaming. I know for a fact there are more soundtracks of the PS1 era. If you guys have any recommendations, put them in the comments below. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow. More gaming content will be coming in the future. I'm trying to do at least like one video a week for gaming content and then another one for breaking content, or at least the minimum of that. But either way, I'm looking forward to talking more about gaming with everybody. It's something that's just been a big passion of mine that I've been waiting to sink more time into. And I feel like I have that time now that I can do it. Other than that, I'll see you guys later. Hope you guys had a good New Year's. Peace.